Hi, Dirty Girl here with a vintage sales report video. This will be for the 2 weeks ending November 22nd. And with that, yes, I will be caught up for at least a day. And then I'm going to start doing shorter, week-long videos again. Okay, so let's just get started. I'm going to start with eBay. The first item, as you probably can tell, is this large granite ware bowl, green and white. It's kind of an unusual color. And that originally I was going to do local pickup only because it's so huge I didn't want to mail it, but someone talked me into giving him a shipping quote, and he did end up buying it for $45, and I paid $5 for that at the flea market when I just couldn't resist it, because $5, I mean, gosh, that's a good price. Next up is this Queen Mom coffee mug. It's kind of an oversized mug. I sold it for $12 and I paid 50 cents for it at the thrift store. Next are these ink printer cartridge, HP. I sold 5 of them for $8.83 and I paid $1 for them at a garage sale. And the final eBay item is this CalRad Buzzer Code Practice Set. You may recall, if you watch my haul videos, that I got this at the flea market for free because I had a nostalgia attack when I saw it, because I had one of these when I was a little kid. My dad had given it to me. My dad was an engineer and he gave me very strange toys, and the dealer said, oh, just take that for free, because I was buying a bunch of other stuff from him. So anyway, I sold it for $17. It was in non-working condition. Moving on to Etsy, I have this little pewter elephant pin or pendant, and I think it's, well, I have it from the 1950s. It's a pretty cute little thing. Anyway, in this uber political climate, he sold without too much trouble for $15, and I paid $4 for him at the flea market. Sold these very nice Swiss tarot cards from the 1970s for $28, and I paid $8 for them. Next up is the ever-popular Kent lighter. I had 7 of them. This is absolutely the last one. I may have told you that on the last sales video, but I did have one more lurking. And I sold this one for $12, and it cost me $1 from the infamous auction box that keeps on giving. This is an official Girl Scout knife. It's black. It's made by Utica. It's a featherweight, and it sold for $17, and I paid $7 for it. This was my best sale during this 2-week period. This is a Chinese plique à jour bowl. Came in a satin-lined box. Plique à jour is kind of like cloisonné, except that there's no ceramic backing. It's just enamel in enamel in wire that makes a translucent, so you can see light through it. Anyway, it's absolutely beautiful. And this bowl came from the auction box. I assigned a value to it of, where'd it go? Oh, $9, and I sold it for $125. This is a pair of turquoise composite and sterling silver bangle earrings that came from my mother-in-law, so I paid nothing for those, and I sold them for $17. This is a pendant signed by R. Tennismed, I'm sure I'm not saying that right, of Sweden. It's pewter. It's a modernist design. It's very large. And that sold to someone in Great Britain, and it sold for $31, and I paid $2 for it at the flea market. This is a Mexican redware clay decorated tile. It's called Catalina tile, and I paid $2 for it at the flea market and sold it for $12. My mother-in-law gave me this dichroic glass cobalt blue pendant, and so I paid nothing for that, and I sold it for $12. I paid only $1 for this gold mesh bracelet at the flea market, and I sold it for $24. Mesh seems to be pretty popular. I seem to be selling a lot of it. I paid $3 for this great wooden carpenter's scribe. It's a really nice primitive piece. And I sold it for $14. Just recently purchased this little long, thin, bird-themed jacquard table runner. I had just sold another one that had been sitting around forever, and then when I saw this at the flea market for $3, I thought, oh, I'll buy that, and it sold right away. It sold for $12, which I think is the same price I sold the other one for, so I don't know, go figure. This was a beautiful Anne Klein silk scarf from the 1980s. I paid $4 for it, which is more than I usually pay for scarves, but it was very big and it was in really nice condition, and I thought it was a particularly nice pattern, and I sold it for $16. These are just some big gold beads that I bought at a garage sale for $1, and I sold them for $10. This is a Western USA 3-blade pocket knife with a faux horn handle, and it was a really nice, clean, pretty knife, and it sold for $18, but I paid $10 for it. Oh, I know why I paid so much for this. This was one of the last knife in the Baguio knives that I bought at the auction. The same auction I bought that great box set, I also bought a baggie full of knives that I paid way too much for. So I have finally sold them all. I did make a small profit. I don't know what the total profit was, but I paid $50 for the bag of knives, and I probably made altogether a $20, $30 profit, something like that. Not a whole lot, but at least I didn't lose money. This is a lot of 8 hat pins and a ceramic hand-painted made in Japan holder that I bought at the flea market for $5. Someone got a really, really good deal because there is a piece of antique scrimshaw in here. But scrimshaw makes me a little uncomfortable. So I just decided to put a reasonable price on it, and it sold right away. So I paid $5 and sold it for $15. This is an Otter Messer folding knife, not too old. With a wooden handle, made in Germany. I paid $15 for that at the flea market. I thought it was pretty high, but I did it anyway, and I sold it for $38, so not too bad. This is another piece from my mother-in-law. It's a very large enamel on copper modernist brooch from the probably 60s, and so I paid nothing for that. Sorry, I paid nothing for that, and I sold it for $18. This is a faux amethyst rhinestone bracelet that I paid $3 for and sold for $16. I got it at the flea market. This is an antique butter mold. It's a nice old primitive. I bought it for $5 at, I think, at the flea market, and sold it for $45. I bought this gorgeous silver-plated Art Deco tea set at a garage sale for $10 and sold it for $74. It was unmarked, but it looked almost exactly like a set by a well-known maker called Christofle. I don't know if I say that right. That was made for the SS Normandy. So had kind of a neat, you know, if it wasn't by Christofle, it was kind of an homage piece, and it was probably made in the 1930s. Anyway, even you can see the condition issue on the sugar bowls. A lot of the plating was missing, but somebody could have that replated. It is really, really nice. I think that the handles and the knobs were made of ebony. It was just a really nice set. These metal bird plates by Daher, D-A-H-E-R, they were a big hit on a recent haul video, and I did sell them to a YouTuber. I think this is the first time I've actually done that. Thank you, Irma. I paid $5 for them and sold them for $22. I bought this 1940s cast iron Woodpecker toothpick holder at the flea market. I paid $5 for him, and I sold him for $32. I got this 10-karat gold tiny sorority pin from my mother-in-law. It was dated 1927. It's for the Gamma Kappa Delta sorority, and it sold for $34. I got this great 1909 book about plants at the flea market for $5. It's got a lot of nice illustrations in it, and it's sold for $15. Anytime I can pick up a book about plants or flowers or bugs or anything like that that's old, I'll do it because they seem to be really popular. I think people either they appreciate them because of their, because they're neat, or they use the illustrations out of them for other purposes. This is a cute little dish towel with a rooster on it. It was sold by Avon, so there's a lot of them out there, and maybe somebody was trying to complete their set. But anyway, I only sold it for $6. I got it at an estate sale or something like that for $1. I had 2 of these cute little trinket boxes. They're from the 1910s. This is called blush ivory, when it's almost like a beige a little bit. But anyway, I had 2 of them, and I sold them to the same person for $22 a piece, and I paid $5 a piece for them at the flea market. I paid $1 for this green plastic necklace. I just really like the look of it. I like, it kind of looks like glass if you don't know any better. And I had to dig it out of a box with a bunch of really horrible, ugly costume jewelry. And guy sold it to me for $1, and I sold it for $16. No, $14, sorry. I paid $15 for this green turquoise ring, and I sold it for $34. And finally, the last item. Thanks for sticking with me if you have. This is a plaster frame with gold highlights, and I paid $1 for that at the thrift store, and I sold it for $16. And a funny story, a few days after I sold this, I got a convo from the buyer, and when I opened the convo, there's a photo at the bottom that shows what looks very much like this frame broken into a zillion pieces, and I thought, oh no, it broke. But then I read the very long email that she sent with it, and it was actually a picture of her frame that she had already, that she had broken, and she was trying desperately to find a replacement for it because it was associated with a family memory of their deceased grandmother, and she didn't want to tell her kids when they came home for Thanksgiving that she'd broken the frame, so she was able to switch them out and nobody knew the difference. So she was very grateful, so thought that was a funny story. And I will end my sales on that note. My total sales for the 2 weeks were $738.83. My expenditures were $130.50 for a profit of $608.33. I have to pay my eBay and Etsy fees out of that, but I always have my buyers pay postage these days, so that's all separate and not part of this accounting. So thanks for watching. I'm going to be bringing you a haul video next. I went to my mother-in-law's for Thanksgiving, and my sister-in-law, who also loves to give me all kinds of fun stuff, was there, and she gave me a box of, needless to say, filled up my car with all kinds of fun stuff that my husband's family gives me. Some things they give me to sell, some things they give me to keep, some things they just give me. So I'll be looking forward to showing you that soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.